Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Yeshi Chanzam. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 25th of May. India posts lowest rise in daily COVID-19 cases since April 14. US security assistance to Pakistan remains suspended, says Pentagon. And Nepal says Everest climbing continues despite reports of COVID-19. And now for all the details. India's official tally of daily infections of coronavirus fell to the lowest in nearly 6 weeks in the past 24 hours, offering hope that the devastating second wave is ebbing. Meanwhile, authorities worked on war footing to evacuate thousands of people from coastal areas in 2 states as a powerful cyclone bore down on the country's east coast, complicating efforts to control the pandemic.
India on Tuesday posted 196,427 new coronavirus cases over the last 24 hours, its lowest daily rise in infections since April 14, offering hope that a devastating second wave is ebbing. But government leaders said shortages of vaccines were a big concern. The country's overall caseload now stands at 26.95 million, while total fatalities are at 307,231, according to Health Ministry data. Barely 3% of the country's 1.3 billion people have been vaccinated, the lowest rate among 10 countries with the most COVID-19 cases, leaving India vulnerable to a potential third wave, experts say. Meanwhile, authorities on India's east coast on Tuesday began moving more than 1 million people to safety to shelters and other sturdy structures as a severe cyclone Yas neared, days after deadly cyclone Taute hit the west coast, adding to difficulties in efforts to control the pandemic. The India Meteorological Department said Cyclone Yas was powering across the Bay of Bengal and would batter the eastern states of Odisha and West Bengal and also neighboring Bangladesh on Wednesday.
जहाँ भी जरूरत पड़ रही है सिविलाइजेशन को, हर जगह हम अपनी टीमों को भेज रहे हैं ताकि वो उनको असिस्ट कर सकें और जो भी नियर बाई साइक्लोन शेल्टर्स हैं वहाँ पहुँचा रहे हैं उनको. कंटिन्यू जारी है. कल हमारी एक टीम ने रात को 1 बजे तक काम किया.
In Odisha's Balasore district, close to where the cyclone is expected to make landfall, volunteers broadcast alerts over megaphones, urging people to move. Cyclones in the Bay of Bengal are common at this time of year and often roar ashore, causing deaths and destruction in coastal areas of both India and Bangladesh.
In news from Pakistan, the leader of the opposition in Pakistan's National Assembly, Shehbaz Sharif, asked all the opposition parties to join hands and move forward with the anti-government movement as he hosted a dinner reception in Islamabad on Monday. Reports suggested it appeared to be an attempt to revive the opposition alliance Pakistan Democratic Movement, which has witnessed indifferences in the past few months.
Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz Party president and leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, Shehbaz Sharif, has asked all the opposition parties to join hands and move forward with the anti-government movement. The development came during a dinner hosted by Sharif on Monday night, which was attended by the leader of the opposition in the Senate, Yusuf Raza Gilani, PPP leader Sherry Rehman, ANP leader Amir Haider Khan Hoti, and several other political leaders. During the informal gathering, Sharif urged all opposition parties to resist all government moves that caused unprecedented inflation, joblessness and poverty in the country, according to local media reports. In a TV program, PMLN leader Ehsan Iqbal said it was agreed that the joint opposition would not allow the government to present an anti-people budget. Reports suggested the dinner reception appeared to be an attempt to revive the opposition alliance, Pakistan Democratic Movement, which has witnessed indifferences in the past few months, and PPP, the Pakistan People's Party, separating from it.
Moving on, the security assistance to Pakistan that was suspended by the former President Donald Trump's administration remains to be the same, The Pentagon said on Monday as Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke with the Pakistani Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa and US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan met his Pakistani counterpart in Geneva.
Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby told reporters at a news conference on Monday that US security to Pakistan remains suspended and there is no clarity if the administration will change its stance in the future. Kirby was responding to a question on if the new Biden administration has reviewed the policy of the previous Trump administration and if there are any changes in it, or if the issue was on the table during the talks with the Pakistani leadership. Former US President Trump suspended all security assistance to Pakistan in January 2018, arguing that he was not satisfied with Islamabad's cooperation and role in the fight against terrorism.
At this time, U.S. security assistance to Pakistan is still suspended, and I won't get into speculating one way or another about if or whether that will change.
Earlier, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke with Pakistan Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa to discuss shared regional interests and objectives, Kirby said. Austin reiterated his appreciation for Pakistan's support to the Afghanistan peace negotiations and expressed his desire to continue to build on the United States-Pakistan bilateral relationship.
In news from Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan government has decided to extend the travel restrictions until June 7 to control the current COVID-19 epidemic situation in the country. This decision was taken at a meeting of the Special COVID Suppression Committee, chaired by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa on Monday. Sri Lankan authorities on Monday said the island-wide travel restrictions imposed on Friday night will be extended till June 7 in order to prevent a further spread of the COVID-19 virus. The decision was taken at a meeting chaired by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa on the recommendation of health experts on Monday. Though the restrictions will continue till June 7 but will be relaxed on May 25, May 31 and June 7 to allow one person from each household to visit their nearest grocery stores and stock up on essential items. The island nation has been facing a sharp rise in COVID-19 cases within the past month, as health experts warned that the new variant of the coronavirus was fast spreading in all districts. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka has recorded 24 people infected with mucormycosis or the black fungus. The head of the fungal department of the Medical Research Institute, Dr. Pramila Jayasekara, said black fungus is not something new to Sri Lanka, as the country has a conducive environment for the mold commonly found in soil, plants and damp places. According to official figures, the country has registered a total of 167,172 COVID-19 cases and 1,243 deaths so far. In news from Nepal, rift within the Nepal CPN-UML has deepened further and the ruling party is on the verge of a formal split, as its standing committee expelled 11 lawmakers on Monday for supporting the opposition to topple the government. The 11 lawmakers include senior UML leaders and former Prime Minister Madhav Kumar Nepal and Jhalanath Khanal.
Rift within the Nepal CPN-UML party, led by Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, has fledged high and brought the ruling party into brink of split, as its standing committee on Monday decided to expel 11 of its lawmakers, including former Prime Minister Madhav Kumar Nepal and Jhalanath Khanal. A standing committee meeting on Monday decided to take action against the lawmakers as they supported the opposition to oust the government recently. They will not even remain general members of the party following the action. This came as a total of 146 lawmakers from the opposition alliance of 5 political parties on Monday moved the Supreme Court with writ petition against the recent decision by President Bidya Devi Bhandari to dissolve the parliament and fixing general elections in November, which has plunged Nepal into a political turmoil.
संविधान सम्मत रूपले संवैधानिक रूपले प्रतिनिधि सभाको तत्काल कायम संख्याको बहुमतको दाबी गरेर संविधान बमोजिम प्रधानमन्त्री हुनु पर्ने शेरबहादुर देउबाजीलाई प्रधानमन्त्री नियुक्त गर्नका लागि आदेश माग्ने सर्वोच्च अदालतबाट हामीले त्यो अपेक्षा गरेका छौं.
A presidential statement had earlier said the president had ordered dissolution of parliament as caretaker PM Oli nor opposition leader Sher Bahadur Deuba were able to demonstrate a majority to form a new government.
More on news from Nepal. Despite reports of a COVID-19 outbreak at the base camp of the world's tallest peak, people are continuing their attempts to summit the Mount Everest. A Nepali official has confirmed. Nepal, which receives millions of dollars in income from climbers every year, issued 408 climbing permits for Everest for the April-May climbing season this year, after closing the peak last year due to the pandemic. A Nepali government official said on Monday that mountaineering activities are continuing normally at Mount Everest despite reports of a COVID-19 outbreak at the base camp of the world's tallest peak. Lucas Furtenbach of the Austrian Furtenbach Adventures company evacuated his team from the mountain this month, saying there was a sharp rise in COVID-19 cases at the base camp.
So far we have about 100 confirmed cases in Everest Base Camp. Confirmed by doctors, by hospitals, by insurance companies, by expedition leaders, by helicopter pilots who were flying out the patients, and of course by the climber themselves that have been confirmed PCR tested in Kathmandu.
But Rudra Singh Tamang, the Director General for Nepal's Tourism Department, which oversees climbing activities in Nepal's mountains, said if there had been an outbreak at the base camp as rumored, then no activity would be possible. A separate tourism department director said the government had not received a notice of a COVID-19 outbreak at the Everest base camp.
पर्वतारोहण सम्बन्धी कामहरू सुचारू रूपमा सञ्चालन भइरहेको छ। आजको दिनमा पनि एउटा टिमले अहिले पनि सगरमाथा आरोहणको उसमा चाहिँ अन्तिम चरणमा छ। सम्भवतः हाम्रो दुईवटा विन्डोमा अहिले चाहिँ सफलतापूर्वक आरोहण सम्पन्न भइसकेको छ। अब के एउटा टिम चाहिँ अझ यो चाहिँ मे 29 सम्मलाई उसमा चाहिँ अर्को विन्डोको लागि पुरेर बसिरहेको छ।
Nepal, which receives millions of dollars in income from climbers every year, issued 408 climbing permits to Everest for the April-May climbing season this year, after closing the peak last year due to the pandemic. As of Tuesday, Nepal reported 520,461 infections and 6,531 deaths since the outbreak began, according to government data. A college student in Western India has come up with an innovative device that provides ventilation inside the protective suits of doctors and health workers while treating patients in the COVID-19 wards. The device provides relief by cooling the protective suits during long working hours, and the fungal infection due to the heat and sweat can also be avoided.
A college student in Pune city of India's western Maharashtra state has come up with a device that provides ventilation inside protective suits and keeps the doctors and health workers cool during treating patients in the COVID-19 wards. 19-year-old Nihal Singh designed CoveTech, a belt-like wearable device that helps provide ventilation inside the protective suits. The device has a lithium battery and takes around 4 hours to charge and can be used up to 8 hours.
This is designed to act as a plug-and-play device to any kind of PP suit, and it basically takes in air from outside, filters it through a filter, and then pushes it inside the PP suit. The working of the fan is controlled through a complicated electronic circuit using the PWM technology. And what the added benefit is that the humid and hot air, which gets developed inside the PP suit, it gets naturally pushed out from the spaces near the neck, and that leads to the reducing of the misting that happens on the face shield that doctors wear.
Nihal's mother, Poonam Kaur, who is a doctor by profession, said the device provides relief by cooling the protective suits during their long working hours, and the fungal infection due to heat and sweat can also be avoided.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now, our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/AsAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @AsAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.